Chyawanprash, a traditional Indian bioactive health supplement. This is printed in pmc.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/ the National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health. Cardiotonic value. Chyawanprash is a potent cardiotonic. It strengthens the structure and functions of the heart and corrects the heart pumping rhythm by recuperating blood flow to its musculature. Chyawanprash is also reported to correct blood disorders and improve structure and functions of the vascular system. Chyawanprash also exerts anti-hypolipidermic activity and alleviates metabolic impairments. Components of Chyawanprash: amla, nikama, purnava, pershkuma, kachur, vasa, bala, sarivan, pithawan, barakatari, and gokshur. They're all well recognized for their ability to rejuvenate and restore the cardiovascular system functions. Amla has shown anti-atherogenic, anticoagulant, hypolipidemic, antihypertensive, antioxidant, antiplatelet, and vasodilatory effects, as well as lipid deposition inhibitory properties. In rat models, purnava increased the reduced levels of glutathione, superoxide dismutase, SOD, catalase, CAT, and decreased the elevated level of malonyl-aldehyde, MDA, in cardiac tissue. Potent aphrodisiac and balances the endocrine system. Regular intake of CP improves sexual life, boosts virility and fertility in each gender, and improves the functioning of gonads, strengthens the endocrine system, and balances the hormonal flow. It improves semen quality in males and the menstrual cycle of females. Ingredients such as gokshur, vahanhikand, sesame oil, shatavari, vadarakand, bala, jivnanti, mudagparni, mashaparni, ashwagandha, and vanshalashan contribute to the aphrodisiac and revitalizing properties of CP. A recent systematic review of ashwagandha demonstrated statistically significant increase in sperm concentration, 167%, semen volume, 59%, sperm motility, 57%, serum testosterone, 17%, and luteinizing hormone, 34% levels in oligospermic males after 90 days of ashwagandha treatment with any somnifera. In rat models, the gokshur and shatavari also showed significant improvement in sexual behavior, androgen levels, increased amount and intromission frequency, improved penile erection, testosterone levels, and sperm count. Chyawanprash is also radioprotective, cytoprotective, genoprotective, anti-mutagenic, and anti-cancer carcinogenic effects. A study evaluating the radioprotective effect of Chyawanprash in mice subjected to a lethal dose of gamma radiation revealed that CP could provide good radioprotection in a minimal non-toxic dose. The best radioprotection was observed for 15 milligrams, where the higher numbers of survivors were found to have completion of 30 days post-irradiation. A study found protective efficacy of Chyawanprash on the somatic chromosomes of 25 biddy smokers. Biddy is a traditional handmade conical smoking stick prepared by filling tobacco in Diospyros melanxylon leaves. A total of 20 grams of CP was administered for 2 months, twice a day, and parameters such as the mitotoxic index, chromosomal aberrations, sister chromatoid exchanges, and satellite associations were studied and found to have significantly decreased in CP-fed smokers compared to normal smokers. A significant decline in the frequency of CA is indicative of the genoprotective role of CP against mutagenic agents present in tobacco smoke. A cytogenic study established the genoprotective and antioxidant potential of CP in oral pre-malignant cancer, conducted at 21 betel quid chewing oral precancerous lesion subjects. Due to its rich amla contents, CP also exhibits cytoprotective, effective against metalloclastogenes, anti-carcinogenic and anti-mutagenic activities, and stabilizes the side effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. The synergistic effects of the cocktail of herbal metabolites of CP and the multiple points of intervention offer higher efficacy during chemoprevention regimens. In an RCT on 75 patients of head and neck cancer, CP, 10 grams twice daily, along with radiotherapy, reduced the severity of mucosal reactions and improved the RB levels. Favorable effects on lipid profile and glycemic levels. Owing to its rich sugar and honey contents, Chyawanprash is generally considered to be contraindicated in diabetes. However, contrary to this widespread belief, CP is reported to reduce postprandial hypoglycemia in the oral glucose tolerance test and substantially reduced blood cholesterol level compared to vitamin C. Chyawanprash is also efficient hypolipidemic. A study conducted on CP for evaluation of health promotion in elderly people reported a decrease in cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL, low-density lipoprotein, and increase in HDL, high-density lipoprotein levels, which corroborates its indications in geriatrics as cited in Palashruti. Of this formulation, in a randomized open-label clinical study on type 2 diabetes, no statistically significant change in the HbA1c and blood sugar levels were found. This signifies the safety of CP in type 2 diabetic patients controlled by oral hypoglycemic agents. Additionally, a statistically significant convalescence was also found in energy levels of diabetics. Other preventative, promotive, and curative health benefits. Chyawanprash helps in better absorption of calcium and protein synthesis, thereby strengthening bones and teeth and improving muscle tone. It also promotes growth in juveniles and helps in gaining weight, and its profound Rasayana effect due to its potent herbs like amla, guduchi, and ashwagandha helps to balance the body's natural processes and modulate the neuroendocrine immune activities. It eliminates blood impurities and acts as a natural detox. It promotes hair growth, skin complexion, cures dermal infections, and improvises personality characteristics. by imparting slender exquisiteness, youthfulness, wisdom, vitality, and glow. In hairless mice models, CP has shown a protective effect on photoaging of skin. In its CP suppressed epidermal thickening, improved the proliferation of human keratinocytes, and effectively removed the reactive oxygen species, which are liable for skin photoaging. In this study, CP showed promising potential for use as an antimicrobial agent, as well as hydrolyzed extract showed concentration-dependent antimicrobial activity. Chyawanprash has also shown protective effects of steroid-induced opacities in the eye lens of chick embryo. In a double-blind placebo-controlled study on 177 subjects, CP improved the levels consistently, irrespective of the season of its consumption, along with improvement in pulmonary function tests and immunological parameters. Toxicity and safety concerns. Although numerous works have been carried out on this formulation, no evident information on toxicity has been available until now. If taken in prescribed dosage, CP is considered to be safe. A report suggested that amla should not be consumed at bedtime to avert ill effects on teeth. Chyawanprash is rich in amla contents, therefore it's better to avoid it at bedtime. Usually this information is missing from CP packaging. Necessity for standards of Chyawanprash. Based on the available market samples, it was found that the consistency and flavor of CP vary from company to company. These differences are even noted within the same pharma company in different manufacturing batches. Market surveys have shown great variation in the ingredients composition of CP in many brands. In addition, the texture and appearance may vary from a smooth to a slightly grainy consistency. Color may vary from lighter brown to dark and shiny brown, and taste has been found to be sweet, sour, or spicy. Real classical CP is sour and less sweet, while current pharma sector generally adds high sugar levels and makes it sweeter to make it more palatable. Even batch variations apropos of the CP preparation are also observed in pharma companies. Hence, there's an immense need for maintaining high quality raw materials, quality, and finished product standards. Chyawanprash covers a large area of the market. It is being endorsed as a health supplement or nutraceutical product by its manufacturer, not as an Ayurvedic medicine. It is the need of the hour of policymakers, the Indian Pharmacopoeia, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and the Bureau of Indian Standards, functioning under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, to take the responsibly and work in this area to formulate CP's uniform standards. Market trends. Indian regulations permit the manufacture and sale of CP either as an Ayurvedic medicine by following exactly the recipe and the process as per the authoritative texts listed in the regulations, referred to commonly as classical Ayurvedic medicine, or as a proprietary Ayurvedic medicine, where modification to an authoritative text-based recipe is allowed as long as all the ingredients are listed in any one of the texts officially recognized by the law. Despite several negative points related to commercialization of this traditional formulation of CP, it's still a widely accepted and used health nutrition supplement among Indian consumers. It's being advised and used by all age groups and in several health conditions. In the Indian market, CP is certainly distinguished from other nutraceutical brands based on its visibility on market shelves, brand variants, huge number of ads, and a cultural acceptability. The market value of CP in 2010 was over $4 billion, about 80 million USD, and makes CP India's best-selling Ayurvedic medicine. There are many CP brands in the Indian market, such as Enema Group, Himalaya, Bajaj, and Badianath. However, the leading brand is Dabur with a market share of 70%. Comparative test performance scores of various leading market brands of CP are detailed in Table 3. It's produced in bulk, will be around 70 to 80 per kilogram. However, there's no... Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a page. Perspectives and future directions. Chyawanprash is a traditional recipe which is manufactured and been popularized by firms. Each firm has held information generated by them as property and has not published them in research journals, perhaps to maintain ownership of this information and link to their product. This could limit contemporary scientists' ability to assess and review data on traditional products through online searches that are used. This traditional product is a complex mixture comprising dozens of active phytocompounds with a very broad biological effects on different targets. In such a complex nature of product, it's very challenging to describe in detail the efficacy supported by the mechanism of actions. Moreover, in this form, the synergistic or antagonistic effects of compounds are difficult to deal with and are not invincible from the present literature. Nevertheless, a wide scope is open for future researchers to reach better conclusions. Through information from available in vitro and in vivo studies is still limited, the following recommendations are warranted to validate multi-therapeutic claims of CP. Extensive, well-stratified multi-center RCTs of longer durations with a larger sample size and longer follow-up. Clinical evaluation of short-term and long-term effects of CP supplementation. Comparative in vivo and in vivo investigations on classical and marketed products of CP. Evaluating the benefits accruing with the adjacent use of CP with other therapeutic agents on different targets. And studies identifying biochemical and molecular targets of CP. Conclusions. Natural health products with medicinal value are gaining importance in clinical research as they offer better alternatives, offer fewer side effects and cost effectiveness than conventional synthetic nutraceuticals. Along the vast library of such products, CP is immensely valuable in terms of therapeutics and global trade. This review underscores the plethora of ancient therapeutic claims of CP, coupled with their validation by available scientific evidence. Reported evidence supports its multifaceted preventative, promotive, and curative health benefits, proving it to be an ancient elixir with a modern cure. However, mechanistic studies and sufficient clinical reports are still lacking. Despite the traditional implementation in Ayurvedic medicine and the reported efficacy evidence, there is a requirement of controlled experiments on the effect of the main active compounds and their synergistic or antagonistic effect in order to clarify their mechanism of action. This could also lead to improvement of the available market brands of CP that is not necessarily the optimal version. In fact, strict compliance with the centuries-old recipe alone is not per se a guarantee of success in absence of appropriate scientific evidence. Nevertheless, the present report can be used for future investigations as well as clinical purposes. To sum up, Chyawanprash is an Ayurvedic superfood and healer par excellence that strengthens the immune system and revitalizes the psychosomatic system. a superior, nutritious, and safe health tonic that is beneficial for all age groups and genders alike. Funding. This research received no external funding. Conflicts of interest with no conflict of interest.